Hey Liz, what you doing?
At the moment, I'm opening a lens because I managed to snag a good deal on one used from a seller I trust. Wow, they knotted that good though. Maybe this way. There we go.
Hey.
And it's going on the cameras, which I don't think we've talked about to anyone but the patrons. We got cameras. Like,
Woo.
we're using cameras that aren't loaners, finally. Thanks to people who have been signing up to help us out on Patreon, as well as buying stuff from the Etsy store. I guess the sticker doesn't matter right now. But we've been budgeting and saving for a little while, and around Thanksgiving last year, I started watching for deals, because when there's a deal on something new from the seller that I get this kind of stuff from, it means the used stuff is also cheaper. So we bought 2 Sony Alpha 7 IIIs, which are not the strongest or best cameras they sell, but they are good enough for what we do, by far, because even these do 4K. And we are actually shooting blog on a new point-and-shoot camera. Before we were using our phones, and we hated that. So I guess
Keep nodding as if they can see me.
I guess I'll throw a picture of it. It's just the latest version of Sony's Cybershot line, the RX100. But we were doing the show on cameras that were at least 10 years old. Like, they were awesome 10 years ago. And we just wanted to do something that would help upgrade the look of the show rather easily. And today, since we are shooting pickup shots, meaning shots we didn't shoot during a principal shoot, for the Iguanodon episode, I figured I'd test the new lens we just got in.
What's the advantage of this over the stock lens?
Well, the stock lens wasn't actually a stock lens.
Oh.
When I bought the second of these cameras, it was sort of by surprise to me, because I found the body, and only the body, for like $700 off, I think.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, they didn't really have any decent sale on the lens I wanted for it, which is this one, which is a 28 to 70 millimeter lens. Which did come with the other camera that I got a good deal on. So at the time, I just bought a simple 50 millimeter lens. Like, it doesn't zoom or anything like that.
Ah, so that's the main advantage, is this one can actually zoom
Well,
in.
that and the lenses look just different enough that if you watch our, I think Amargasaurus is the first one we used both. So if you watch that or Iguanodon, you can kind of tell that the image looks just a little different.
Huh.
Not enough to be annoying, but it was like, this came across my feed and it was under $200, and it was like, I'm dumb to not do that. So basically that's it. I just wanted the cameras to more easily look alike between shots.
Gotcha.
I could fake it pretty well in Premiere afterwards to get them to match up and have the same contrast and stuff, but I don't want to do that forever. That, and I guess if one of the lenses ever somehow breaks, we have an extra and can always fall back on the 50 millimeter. But yeah, we are going to test it on shooting Iguanodons.
Yeah, because traditionally, I can't do the thing.
Hold it and look at it.
Traditionally, when we were shooting at the lab, we had 3 cameras. We had one for looking at me, one for looking at the whole table, and one for looking specifically at the toy I was pointing at. And right now what we're doing is we just shoot the episode, and then we go through in the edit and find places where we need a close-up, yeah, like an extreme close-up on part of a toy. Like there's one shot where we just need to look at the fingers on this guy. So that's what I have in my shot list, is just look at the fingers on the Walking with Dinosaurs toy. So that's what we're doing today. I seriously can't, like, that was probably Dutch the entire time, because I cannot hold this thing level.
Well, what I can see from here, it's not too bad.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to see past your fingers, but you're fine.
Hmm.
We should set up and then let them watch us, like, shoot toys.
Okay.
So, the first shot was what again?
So, we need a shot to establish. I didn't verbally thank people by name for sending in the Iguanodon, partially because we already did a mailbag for most of these.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the episode, I do gesture at the whole menagerie. So just having a close-up where I can drop in the names of people who sent them where relevant would be real helpful. This time, I exported images of how they were laid out on the table so that for continuity's sake, I can rearrange them.
Could that little camera see that?
It could see enough. It could see that it's a frame from the episode.
Oh, neat. I can't actually see it other than like a tiny bit of the lens poking past the light next to my head at the moment.
Cool.
Where is the setting? I need to set it to a different card slot, and I don't remember where that is in these menus.
Wow.
It's the only thing I don't really like about Sony is that they haven't really improved their menus all that much. Is it? There it is. They're a bit of a slog to get through. Especially if you want to do it quickly. Okay. Let me see. Trying to get them all moderately in focus.
Yeah.
That little iguana's throwing it all off.
Can I cheat the iguana?
I don't think anyone would notice, honestly.
I have cheated the iguana.
Like, it has to be a pretty wide shot if you want a singular shot of all of them.
I mean, if we wanted to get real fancy, you could pan.
Well,
and I could do a motion track.
Honestly, I thought we were going to do a separate thing altogether where I would put the point and shoot on the little truck dolly thing, the tabletop dolly, that's what I meant, and have it go past all of them and then like have a name pop up and go away again as we pass them.
That would work.
Because that way you could actually see them more up close.
That would probably be a lot more, especially since this, if it's going to fit into when I'm saying thank you for sending Iguanodon toys, it has to be a pretty fast shot too, so there wouldn't even be enough time to read all the names.
Yeah.
So that's probably better, yeah.
Let me see if I can do it this way and get them all in.
And there's even less reason to worry about the continuity. Why did it arrange them in reverse ordering?
Well, if continuity becomes too much trouble to actually carry out, we can rely pretty heavily on entering and exiting the frame.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's really common that I pick up the toy that I'm looking at or move the toy into frame. Yeah, so we can do that. Yeah.
Well, since I have the shot now, it's like from your a little under your shoulders down, and then all of the toys are there, at least moderately in focus.
Okay. I'll just do the gesture then.
One sec. Okay. Okay, what's next?
Next, I have to hold up the iguana.
Oh yeah, you did it. All right.
So we need a close-up on my hand.
It's the other hand, but yes.
You're right.
So just hold your hand there. Put the iguana on it so I can make sure it's focused when it appears. Alright, when you're ready.
How's that?
Works for me. Are you sure you didn't put it into your hand?
I did put it into my hand.
Do both ways?
I was worried to do this because I'm not sure I'm going to land where it's in focus.
Did that time.
Hey. Oh, did you want me to do it again?
Nah. Do a few where you're just kind of fiddling with it like you were in the video.
Okay.
Give me one sec. Keep it in that plane of existence, but... Alright, go for it.
I think you mean focal plane.
It was mostly being facetious
Isaac.
in the moment. Instead of just saying, don't move your hands forward or backward. You did a few things where you would hold like the head and tail and kind of twirl it while you looked at it. Do something like that. Yeah.
I'm glad you remember, because I have watched the episode at least 3 times through now as it exists, and I don't remember these.
Alright, and then as you're doing that, just put it back over where it belongs. I don't know if any of that was necessary, but since we're here.
I'm gonna check my list. I keep thinking I'm gonna, like, make noise on my mic.
Just occurred to me that I didn't actually put the settings off of auto from when I was... Oh wait, no, this camera wasn't the one I took out to the nature center recently. Never mind. They're still on the same settings they were already on. I might have been accidentally setting it to vivid at some point.
Yeah, the next thing that happens is I gesture at the ones with cheeks just as they're sitting on the table.
Okay.
Which is this one,
Mm-hmm.
this one, this one, and arguably this one. So if we have the camera over here, and I could just like, and like, I don't know, rack focus from this guy to this guy.
I'm gonna do just a wider shot of all of them because I already have it mostly in focus as it is.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then yeah, I'll
Can
move
we just
over.
turn this upside down, because that way I can at least understand which is right and which is left, since I'm bad at that.
Alright, go for it. It's rolling.
That's all I had to do.
Oh, I thought you had to actually physically point at them.
No, that's the next thing.
Oh. I shall move the camera a bit then.
Yeah, the next one I have to pick up and point at the cheeks on this guy. And pick him up with this hand and point with
The
me.
green one?
Yeah, this one.
Pick him up and let me see where he's gonna, in theory, land. Really? He is a happy little guy, isn't
Yeah.
he? When you're ready.
Crap. How close in are we? Because I'm gesturing at like the chubbiness of the cheek.
Oh, then we're gonna have to...
Get even closer.
Oh, I can't physically get the camera closer from over there, so we're gonna have to do it from this way, and you're just gonna have to turn it towards the camera.
Yeah, that works.
Hold it up so I can see. Well, you definitely get more of that from this shot.
Cool.
And we'll be able to scale it up at least a little bit if we need to.
Right, right.
Alright, go ahead. That one did not stay in focus. Give me a sec. I'm gonna do it again.
How's that?
That's good.
Sweet. We don't have to worry about the sound for these because it's just B-roll for when I was talking during the episode.
Yeah.
Is why we can talk to each other while doing this.
So I ordered this stuff, I think, at the end of November. And we kind of forgot about it because Christmas was a lot busier than we thought it would be for Etsy. Hey, that's not bad at all.
That looks nice.
So people had been asking for a while for stuff like hats or shirts in black and stuff like that, and we don't really have the capability for embroidery or even pressing, well, anything lighter than black into black shirts. Like, I had to think about that for a minute. It's like, oh, actually, we can't do it at all with the press that we have access to. So I looked around for a while at sites like Redbubble and Printful and stuff like that, and I ended up going with Printful so that we could start selling things like black t-shirts in the Etsy shop or hats that look pretty nice, which it's funny that I'm opening this now because it's turning into spring in Michigan, so you don't really need one for much longer, if at all now. But it's there if you want it, or happen to live in a more Arctic place.
Or in the southern hemisphere where it's fall.
But I had the chance to order some samples, so I did, because why not? Like, I wasn't too worried about the quality of the shirts. They're the same brand that we were using for our vinyl shirts. I just lost the blade.
Oh.
They were the same quality as the vinyl shirts we were selling for a little bit until our vinyl cutter decided to give up on life a bit, and I just haven't taken the time to fix it. So I wasn't worried about those so much, so I didn't order samples of those, but I did get one of the hat and the poster. And we're still only selling the one poster for now, but we may add more to the Etsy shop later. But it's one of those things people kept asking for, and I don't want to deny anyone things they want if I can find a way to do it. So that's what we did.
It occurs to me, I joked about the southern hemisphere. Can people with a third party making these, I assume the shipping is less of an issue for international?
With Printful, who we ended up going with, there's usually a flat rate that is a lot cheaper than, like, if you ordered a shirt that would be shipping from Michigan because we're sending it overseas. In theory, most places will have one of their printing partners close enough to them that it will be a lot cheaper to order an item fulfilled by Printful and having it sent to them. I've been looking into, like, starting to add some coffee mugs that'll be done through them, because a lot of people overseas want a coffee mug, but those are almost a pound, just like weigh almost a pound just for one, which is already a lot of money to spend. But I have not committed to doing it that way yet. Though if someone ever wanted to do a custom Printful order, I think we could do something for now where I set it up. But I haven't figured out how to, like, differentiate which is which on the Etsy shop easily. So I haven't, like, gone through with it yet.
You told me how big this was, but I
think it's 2 by 3 feet.
I think I didn't, like, process how enormous 2 by 3 is.
I'm trying to do it without bending it. I think it might just cut through the tissue. It just cut through the tissue paper. Just get some of this out of the way. But yeah, people said they wanted a poster, and Stephen had been thinking of making a large, or a scale poster showing the size of all the dinosaurs we've done so far.
Right.
Oh yeah, and this one does have a Margosaurus, so we are caught up.
Yep. Suppose we're gonna have to release a new one once Iguanodon comes out.
Yeah. I just want to get rid of all the tissue paper. Like the shipping receipts.
Should I put the camera down and help?
I think I got it. There. It's a lot easier with that out of the way. This is the green version. We have a white background version as well. For those who like a more minimalist looking design. But yeah. That is a very big poster. The print came out really good. That's mostly why I ordered the sample to begin with.
I was worried that some of the text wouldn't be readable, but that's pretty nice.
Yeah, if we had it in smaller sizes, it might not be, actually. But I'm happy with that print quality.
Ah!
Obviously.
Maybe we should have taken it out of the tube.
Yeah, it needs some flattening. If you buy one. But yeah, I'm happy with that.
Sweet.
I guess we can, like, hang it up in your room or something.
No, we should hang it, like, I don't know, on one of the walls that isn't a set wall.
I guess. There's very little wall that isn't covered by sound foam or something.
That's true.
But this is a possibility. Maybe we'll just, like, properly frame it and then figure it out. But yeah, I am happy with the quality of these two things, so I think I will try to figure out more stuff to put on the Etsy store through Printful. Because it gives me a lot of optimism. Because I only put like half a dozen things, maybe. Maybe I'll do the Fighting Dino shirt, but a black version. Because I think a lot of people would like that one in black. That's the one with the circle where the Velociraptor is stalking the Protoceratops in the desert.
Right.
Kind of looks like a vaporwave design with the colors we went with. Either way. Speaking of hanging things, you wanted to talk about the backdrop?
I just wanted to mention that we've rearranged it.
Well, here. Take this.
Well, there was a problem in the videos where if I was sitting at the table and the camera was like there-ish, my head was obscuring most of North America, which is where there's a bunch of dinosaurs. So the good thing about the Dymaxion or fuller projection, where it's all just triangles, is that you can arrange it any way you want. And I arranged it so that the old world is over here and the new world is over here, which means that Australia is behind my head, but I mean it might be a while before we do an Australian dinosaur. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
So you're happy with it now?
I'm happier with it.
He's looking pretty doofy there, Steven.
Well, I tried to represent. Do I have a picture? I tried to represent what Mantell thought the front of their mouth would look like, because he did have part of a jaw and part of the maxillary bone, but then he was like, well, they must have had sloth-like lips, which is ridiculous to put on a reptile, but he didn't know that at the time. So I'm trying to like portray it as credibly as I am capable of portraying it, which unfortunately looks like a big old doof. It's supposed to be pulling on a piece of foliage and then eating it, but I haven't drawn the tree yet.
Oh, I thought he was being like, girl, don't even.
So we're animating Iguanodon now. I don't know, but by my extremely unscientific way of measuring my progress, I'm like a third of the way through. But we're just now finishing up with, this is the last shot that involves Mantell's reconstruction, and then we're going to move into Richard Owen and Benjamin Waterhouse Hawkins.
I kind of regret not catching your face after I said that. So how many shots are in this particular video to animate?
36 plus a couple of extra little graphics that I have to include in the pop-up thingies. Fortunately, they are all quite short. There's no like 5-minute stretch of animation like we've had in some previous videos.
There's no like fighting dinosaurs recreation or anything like that.
There is a section like that when we talk about what happened at Bernissart, but I broke it up into short little segments, and I'm only putting animation where we actually need it because I learn slowly.
See, we say that, and then we're like, we're gonna streamline our videos so that they're not an hour long, and then
they voted for Iguanodon. There's a lot to talk about with Iguanodon.
To be fair, we did fall short of an hour.
True.
By like 3 minutes. So far, it might get a little shorter.
Yeah. I don't know, what else could I show? I mean, the patrons have already seen this stuff because they get access to our... Oh, I was going to do a thing. Because they get access to our...
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
To our behind-the-scenes content. But, this one's fun. So, this is like an initial estimate of its size that Mantell published, and then in the 1840s, Owen was like, but what if it was the size of an ocean liner? And we were just like, okay, whatever. And like, compared to those, the actual size of Iguanodon, which is an objectively gigantic creature, just looks kind of puny.
I appreciate the spikes making it look like a lion in silhouette there.
Well, early artwork did... I don't know if I can share it because I don't know exactly... Well, no, it's out of copyright. Early depictions did have them looking somewhat lion-like, you know?
Yeah, I can see it.
Even though these kind of look like a pit bull lizard to me.
But in short, things are progressing.
Yes.
Yay.
Wait, I probably shouldn't have spent 2 months researching Iguanodon, but considering that I was still researching it like the day that we shot the episode, clearly that is the amount of time that it took. It's a long story.
It's what, almost 200 years since...
Oh, yeah, we're coming up on 200 years exactly. Because it was found in 1822, named in 1823.
So yeah, it's still gonna be a bit.
Yeah, I'm not very good at estimating how long the animation process will take. Something like 6 weeks from when I started, so hopefully end of April.
Okay. So there you go. Possibly end of April, if we're lucky.
And after that, something simpler.
Well, we'll have a Synapisode of some sort.
I was thinking about that. Like, we kind of unofficially did 2 Synapisodes in a row, because we did the Syracosaurus update and then we did the Paleo rewind, so we might want to just go straight to another dinosaur.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe we should put it up to a vote for the patrons. Let democracy decide.
Well, I think in the meantime I should probably update on other stuff we're working on. Okay, so one last thing for this particular blog. We need your help. What I would like from anyone who has made it this far is to comment below the video and let us know what video game would you be interested in seeing Steven and I play. Pretty much since the beginning we've had people asking us to play Dinosaur or dinosaur adjacent, I suppose, video games, and we never really got into it because we just weren't set up for video capture of that nature, and we finally invested in a rig to do just that, as well as some streaming, and we're going to give doing Let's Plays a shot. Not really sure how it's gonna go. We don't consider ourselves voice actors or comedians or have any of the real skills that kind of go into doing the streaming or Let's Play type thing, but this is what people have asked us for years, so we're at least going to try. So let us know in the comments below what games you might like to see us do, and maybe even why, because that'll help us choose how we're going to schedule things out and what we're going to try and approach first. And yeah, that's it for this blog, and thanks for tuning in and hanging out, and we'll be back with more updates and fun behind the scenes soon. See ya!